Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon, out on the trails again on a most beautiful afternoon here. Temperatures got to be about 75, not a cloud in the sky, so I'm really enjoying myself today. Figured I'd do something a little different today. And one thing I've noticed over these last few years is the amount of people that I'm seeing out on these trails. There are so many people that are discovering the benefits of hiking, discovering the benefits of getting out and exercising, and I wanted to make this quick little video with just a couple tips on those who are thinking about getting into hiking, and even those who are already out on the trails right now hiking. What I'm going to cover today is basically warm weather in North Carolina. And another thing too, I'm not going to cover backpacking today. This is strictly for day hiking. Just some tips and tricks that may make your time out in the woods a lot more enjoyable. So stay tuned, and we're going to cover some of them tips real soon. Such a beautiful day today. I love getting outside, just walking along trails, seeing different scenes, different scenery, meeting people out here. There's nothing more peaceful than going outside on a hike, especially when the weather's nice. Not too hot, not too cold. Anybody who is serious about hiking has their own game plan. They have their own set of equipment, they have their own ways of doing things, and most people are happy with it. Anybody who is interested in getting into hiking, even if you're a beginner or you think this is something you're going to seriously get into, the number one tip that I can give anyone out there is your footwear. If you're not willing to spend quite a bit of money on footwear, some good sturdy shoes, you're not going to have as good as time. Before you go out and buy an expensive pack or an expensive water purification system or anything like that, your number one priority should be good, proper footwear. There's a lot of successful hikers out there that wear tennis shoes. That's fine. If you're walking on flat, level, soft ground, absolutely no problem with that. They're very comfortable, they're very cool, they're very lightweight. If you tend to get into, a lot of rocky climbs, a lot of stream crossings, transversing a little rougher area, you might want to invest in some boots. We've covered about 1 mile. And like I said, it's definitely getting warmer out here, which brings me to another point. We got our good footwear on. We're not too worried about blisters and such. The next thing I could say on any hike, whether it's a day hike, a night hike, backpacking, whatever the case may be, is to dress appropriately. On most of my hikes, you usually see me wearing a hat. And I do that for a couple reasons. Number one, it keeps the sun out of my eyes, keeps the sweat out of my eyes, and it keeps the bugs out of my hair. You'll also see me most of the time wearing sunglasses, which of course, again, keeps the sun out of my eyes. And some people may not like wearing a hat or sunglasses, and that's fine. Like I said, to each their own. Everyone will develop their own system and what they're most comfortable with. The best part of hiking is being comfortable, enjoying yourself. Well, I'm sure if you've heard it once, I'm sure you've heard it 100 times. Stay away from cotton. Cotton pants, which usually means blue jeans, or any kind of cotton shirts, flannel shirts, such like that. Instead, go for more of a synthetic material when you're buying these items. The idea of hiking is to be comfortable and try to ward off any possible problems. The last thing you want to do out there on the trail is, fall in a creek and it's going to take you the next 3 days to dry out because you're wearing cotton jeans and such. You want to try to stay cool. You don't want to sweat real bad, and you want to stay relatively lightweight. So always dress appropriately, and that includes everything from the head all the way down to your proper hiking boots. Geez, it's getting hot out here. We're about 2 miles into our trek, and like I said, we're keeping a pretty good pace, but you know what? I'm comfortable. I got good hiking boots on. I've got good cargo pants on. I've got good sturdy boots. I've got a cotton / synthetic shirt going on, and I don't even feel like I'm sweating much. This is just pulling it away from my body. Got my hat, got my sunglasses, but you know what? I'm still hot. Hold on 1 minute. Whew. The third tip of hiking, whether it be in the woods or wherever you may be, is staying hydrated. We're feeling comfortable. We're moving along this trail. It is so important that we are drinking water. So always stay hydrated. Bring plenty of water. And if you're on extended stays or extended hikes, you may even want to invest in a water filter. Keep yourself safe. I think we're doing pretty good now. My feet feel good. I feel cool. I'm not sweating too much. Just drank a good bit of water. I'm really enjoying this hike. However, another tip I can give everyone is pay attention to your surroundings. And the reasons for this is, I've been on several hikes before where I've actually seen bears out in the distance. And I could see somebody with an iPod on walking around totally oblivious to what's going on around them and walk right up to this thing. I've seen snakes before, and so far I've been lucky. I have never had a close call with a rattlesnake yet. However, there was a copperhead out in the Appalachian Mountains once, which I saw it in plenty of time, thankfully. But if I would have just been walking, totally oblivious to what's going on around me, it's very possible I could have stepped on it. Especially for those who get into backpacking, you're going to get onto some trails that are really going to confuse you. You're going to be on good trails, and there's going to be a weird trail going to the right, maybe one to the left. And what I'm getting at, you don't want to get lost out here. So one of the things you want to keep in mind when you're walking is always pay attention to something called blazes. Some really big mountain ranges where there are no trees, there are no poles. You know, you're going to see pyramids. Don't let your mind wander too much to where you're not paying attention to where you're going. Hey everybody, it's me again. I think we have a problem here. I was following the trail, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was just zoning out or I was thinking of something else, but I'm off the trail and I don't know which way to go here. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. I don't even know which direction to go in. And I don't know whether to keep on wondering and hope to find my way back or what. And I'm kind of nervous because I've never been here before. Everybody, sooner or later this is going to happen. It's very possible it could happen. Getting lost on hiking trails and backpacking is probably the #1 reason of any search and rescue. People getting lost on the trail. There's a lot of ways you can minimize that. Just so everybody knows, I'm not lost out here. I know exactly where I'm at. But there's some ways you can minimize that. And the first thing I could tell you to do is always bring a phone if you have one. There's a couple things to do with the phone. Before you set out on any hike or any trail, call a friend, call a family member, call your mother, call your father, call your daughter, whatever the case may be. Let somebody know where you're going. Let them know that, hey, I'm going to the Appalachian Trail, I'm going to be on this trail. I think I'm going to park at the summit, and I should be back by 4 o'clock. But almost always, I have my compass with me and I have a map with me. And still, that doesn't mean I could never get lost. It's happened before. I've gotten myself turned around in the woods. I'm more of an explorer. I'll stay on the trail. But like I said, some parks, the trails are really badly marked. And other times, I just want to go off the beaten path. Always remember your cell phone. And if you have a GPS, I'm not telling you to go out and spend $250 on a GPS. But if you have a GPS, by all means, bring it along. Bring your cell phone. Let somebody know where you're going. And that ties into what I was saying earlier. Be aware of the path you're on. Pay attention to the blazes. The trail here is slated at about 4.5 miles, so it'll soon be coming to an end. But wanted to bring up another point. There is nothing better than hiking on a beautiful spring day. Like I told you earlier, it's about 75 degrees, clear as can be. Every single time before I went out on a hike, I've always checked the weather. If you're going to some areas in the Appalachian Mountains and it's rained consistently the whole week, that should tell you right then and there that most of the streams are probably extremely high. And there's a good chance that you're going to be going over some stream crossings and you're going to get wet. So always remember to keep that in mind. Check the weather. Hey everybody, we're at about 4.5 miles. This hike's just about come to an end. I've really enjoyed myself out here. I just wanted to reiterate some of the tips that I gave you. Number one, dress appropriately. That includes very good hiking shoes or hiking boots, and don't gimp on these. If you get some cheap Walmart boots or some shoes, they might feel fine at first, but especially when you're out on a trail here, 3, 4, 5, 10 miles, you're going to pay for it. Stay hydrated. I don't care if you're going out for an hour or if you're going out for a weekend. Always have water with you. Drink a lot of water before you go on the trail and drink it during the trail. And remember the signs of heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Any kind of dizzy feeling, any kind of blurred feeling, any type of bad aching or cramps, you need to sit down. You need to be in the shade. You need to drink water and possibly seek medical attention. Pay attention to the trails you're on. Watch for blazes. Watch the trail ahead of you. Look for bears. Look for snakes. Look for anything that doesn't sound right in the woods. Before you go on a hike, even as you're sitting in your car, call your best friend. Call a sibling, call your parents, whatever the case may be. Let them know where you're at. Tell them how long the trail is if you know. Let them know when you should be back. And lastly, keep an eye out for the weather. Watch weather reports. Pay attention to, the rise and level of the rivers and the streams out there. And you're going to enjoy yourself a lot more out here. And the last thing that I want to say before I go is nature itself. Always respect the outdoors. Be courteous to other people you find on the trails. Don't go picking flowers and chopping down trees and throwing litter all over the area. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope some of these tips have helped some of you. If you have any questions, by all means, leave me a comment below or send me a message. I'll try to answer as much of them as I can. And following those few tips, you're going to have a lot better, productive time out on the trail, and you're going to be a lot more comfortable. So anyways, I hope everyone else enjoys the rest of their weekend, and hopefully I'll see you all on the trails. Take care.